Hi, welcome to Coding Confidence. My name is Nicole Shoemaker. On this slide, you can see my name and contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me at any point today and or any point after today's session if you have questions about Scratch. And you'll see a web address to access this slideshow, which should also have been available to you in D2L. These slides will also stay live after today's workshop, so if you need to refer back at any point, you are welcome to do that. Before we jump into Scratch, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I spent about 20 years teaching 6th grade and the past 4 years teaching a STEM special. I am the mom of 1 gymnast and 2 furry kids, Odin and Coffee. I have a master's degree in education from Penn State and a master's degree in science education from Lebanon Valley. I completed my tech specialist certification with Harrisburg University of Science and Technology, and I'm currently working on my STEM endorsement at Millersville. I have been running technology and engineering camps at Millersville for students for almost 15 years, and this is my 4th year presenting at Coding Confidence. Today's agenda looks like what you see on your screen. From 8 to 9, we'll do our welcome, an overview, and some getting to know Scratch activities asynchronously. Then from 9 to 10, you'll have a short task, kind of to get your feet wet a little bit, also asynchronously. At 10 o'clock then, we'll get together for a bit of a meet and greet, and we'll chat a little bit about what you discovered between 8 and 10. And then you'll have some work time. And then from 12 to 1 is lunch. This afternoon, 1 to 2:30, you'll do some exploration related to robot technology that can be coded. Also asynchronously, you'll have a break from 2:30 to 3, and from 3 to 4, we'll have a class meeting to wrap up. The class meetings that are linked on this slide are the links that were available to you from Dr. Hardy in D2L, but they're right on the slides just for your convenience. So as you get started this morning, a couple of things I would like you to do. First is to watch this video. The second is I'd like you to rate your level of experience with Scratch on this slide. This is slide number 5 in the slide deck. So it asks you to choose a shape and insert it under whichever of these descriptors fits you best. Are you at this point thinking to yourself, Scratch? What's Scratch? Or I've heard of it, but that's about it. Or I've used some Scratch, or I'm a Scratch pro. Add a shape with your name under whichever of these categories you fall. And please, if your answer is Scratch, what's Scratch? You have no idea. Don't feel badly. Just means we're going to begin at the beginning and kind of fill in the background information about this really interesting and creative tool that you can share with students. After you have labeled your level of experience with Scratch, then I have an introductory video here on slide 6 and slide 7 for you to watch. One is from the user's perspective and one is a little bit more from a creative perspective. Neither one is very long, but I thought they both give you a good overview and they come straight from the Scratch website. So I'd like you to see their information about their site. So this is your to-do list. Going to watch some slides, answer the question on slide 5. Then between 8 and 9, I'd like you to create your Scratch account. The link is here to go ahead and create it. It requires a couple clicks because you have to enter an email address. You have to verify your email. So it'll take you a minute. So go ahead and create your account between 8 and 9 and then just kind of look around. Once you have an account, you should be able to look at other people's projects. You should be able to find some tutorials that are built into Scratch that will allow you to kind of step-by-step get started on a project. Or if you're brave and you don't mind just jumping right in, you can try creating a new project and just play around a little bit, see what you can do. If you get stuck, don't be frustrated, just kind of find another thing to look at and then we'll get started talking a little bit later. Also, if you want to, you're welcome to search up some Scratch tutorials online. So one of the amazing things about Scratch is it really is a community of users of all different ages all around the world. So if you Google, how do I blank in Scratch, you will almost always find a tutorial video telling you how to do it. So you're welcome to just Google some, how do I start a project in Scratch? How do I make a game in Scratch? And see what you come up with. And then I have for you on slides 9, 10, looks like 11 and 12, some questions for you. So it's actually only 2 questions. I just made 2 slides for each in case we needed extra room. So the first question says, after looking around a bit, what questions do you have about Scratch? So just the immediate things that pop into your mind, whether it's related to classroom use or whether it's related to just how it works. And what do you hope to gain from today's Scratch instruction? So feel free to add numbers or go on to the next slide, whatever fits. So that's just a place where we can start our conversation then a little bit later. And it'll allow me to prepare for your questions for 10 o'clock. Once you finish those basic things from 8 to 9, a separate to-do list for you from 9 to 10. You're going to start out by getting your feet a little bit wet in Scratch. You're going to begin your first Scratch project. So on slide 14, you will find some Scratch instruction and exploration videos. So there are 2 videos here. And they are me, again, giving you kind of what I think is the essentials of what you need to know before you start your first project. And I'd like you to choose a tutorial from Scratch to try out your first project. And again, those videos will show you how to get there. And you're going to follow very step-by-step directions to create a very basic first project. If you finish all the instructions that are built into your tutorial, then see if you can get a little creative. Add some music, add an extra character, change a background. And then on slides 20 to 24, I've allowed a place for you to post a screenshot or a link of this first project that you're creating. Please remember, for many of you, this is your first try at Scratch. Nobody is expecting your projects to be perfect or super complicated. You might find that you'll spend an hour and you only get a very small amount built. You might have a character and it might do a couple things, and that's really all you'll get done in your hour. That's fine. If you have time before 10 o'clock then still, you can check out what your classmates have created, what they've posted to slides 20 through 24. And I've posted one more place, slide 25, where you can add a few more discussion questions after you've started using Scratch. If you run into things that come up as far as working with Scratch or things that come to your mind then about using Scratch in the classroom, you could post them on slide 25 as well. And again, that will just help us get our conversation started at 10 o'clock. There is again our link for our class meeting at 10, just to make it easy for you to get there. And these are the slides where you will post your link or a screenshot of this first project that you're going to try out in Scratch. One little side note, if you post a screenshot, we're just going to get a still of what you've built, which is fine. Or if you've built code that actually runs and works and you want us to be able to see your code work, then in Scratch you would click Share to make your project public before you then can get a link, and you can put the link on these slides. And that way I won't just be seeing a still shot of your project. I'll be able to click on the link and see your project work. For this first project, either is fine, so no pressure either way. So from 8 to 10, you have 2 separate to-do lists just to start getting to know Scratch, make your account, look around a bit. And then from 9 to 10, you'll actually start getting your feet wet a little bit in some Scratch instruction. I will be in the meeting at the address that Dr. Hardy provided and the one that's in the slideshow all morning. So starting at 8 o'clock. If you get stuck, you have a hang up, or you'd really just like some personal instruction, or you need a question answered, just pop into the meeting. I'll be there. My camera might be off, but if you just pop in and say hello, I will join you and answer questions, or just help you get started if you need some individual assistance. I'm happy to provide that. Otherwise, I will see all of you at 10 a.m. in our live class meeting. We'll take a look at those first projects that you try out, and we'll do some of our discussion questions, answer some questions, and take it from there. I hope you have a good time and you are excited to get to know Scratch. It is a super powerful tool that can do an awful lot, and it has endless possibilities in the classroom.